Hey guys, actually here, also known as AJ Lee fan. So I thought today I wanted to do something new with my channel. I wanted to talk more about teen drama shows. I love teen drama shows. They're my favorite interpretation to watch on TV. And it sucks that looking at it, if you look at it back then and look at it now, it's not the same anymore. But sometimes in teen dramas, there's also big mistakes in the shows, whether it's a season or characters or storylines. So I wanted to go down and talk about shows, whatever teen drama show aspect I talk about, whether what went wrong, a season, ranking the seasons, characters, relationships, which I want to do more about in the future. I want to do more stuff about the OC, One Tree Hill. I want to do some more stuff about Gossip Girl, Riverdale, um, yeah, like whatever teen drama show I just watch and I feel like I want to discuss, I'll discuss it. Which I'm pretty sure as other teen drama shows I'm not naming, which I need to think more about. Degrassi, I forgot. Yeah, Degrassi. Yeah, so the teen drama show I want to talk about today is Gossip Girl. I realize that Gossip Girl is one of the best teen drama shows to ever be made, but in the same aspect, this series also has a lot of problems. So I want to discuss what I think went wrong with the show, in my opinion, but I'm pretty sure everyone's going to agree with anyway. So I think the biggest thing would mess up the show is the way the characters were, the way the character arcs were written. Um, it really does suck. I understand that as seasons go, characters do change, and I think with this show they managed doing flip flops with the characters by making them act more not themselves. I feel like I know a lot of people said that Chuck, his redemption arc came way too soon because they never really addressed his sexual assaults in season 1, which I'm gonna disagree with that with Chuck. Um, in season 2, Chuck apologized for what he did to Jenny and Serena, and he realized that night that he was out of line, and that he told Jenny that if it makes her feel uncomfortable, then he won't be around anymore in season 2. So Chuck did apologize, and the reason why his redemption arc came so quickly is because they were doing the stuff for him and Blair. They're developing him and Blair as a relationship, and when you fall in love with someone, you change. I know it's a cliche thing for me to say, but when you fall in love with someone, you do change and everything like that. And everything about, I think Chuck is a really good character. Yeah, the things that he did in season 1 about the sexual assaulting and everything like that, Blair slut shaming Blair. Yeah, that was really terrible. But I do think that some way down the road he did change for the better. Yeah, he did sell Blair for a hotel. Yeah, he did punch a window and she got hurt. Yeah, but he apologized for those things. He realized that what he did was wrong and that he let his ego get in the way of what was really important. He realized that letting Blair go and her being happy is more important than him being with her. He realized that selling her for the hotel, he let his ego get in the way and his success get in the way that it ruined his relationship with Blair and everything like that. I do think him sleeping with Jenny, that I think it was really written wrong. I think I did mention this in a couple in my other video, which Gossip Girl, that I do think it was written wrong. Them just, I realized that her and Chuck did interact a lot in season 3, but if they would have had them interact a little bit more, then maybe them sleeping together wouldn't have felt as random as it did. But it did feel random. Other than that, I still think Chuck is probably one of the best characters on the show. The next character I want to discuss is Blair. I have to say Blair overall is the best character in the show. I never, not all the things really bother me about her. There's probably a couple of nitpicks, like the whole her trying to be the high school girl, trying to rule everything. I feel like that got kind of like outplayed, and they try to overuse it just a way too much, and it just got kind of old. But either than that, I had to say Blair is one of the best characters on the show. I wish they would have done more about her eating disorder, but even that, I didn't really have a big problem with Blair. Um, the next character is Serena. I mean, what I have to say, Serena, seasons 1 and 2, Serena showed potential, and then season 3 just had her dating everyone and being with everyone, and then like seasons 3 and 4, she didn't really do much. So I would say Serena is probably the most pointless character in this series, and it does suck they made her just a stereotypical blonde who dates everyone, but it does suck. But um, I had to say, after season 1 and 2, she became a terrible character, and I just really care less about her. Either that, let's move on. Nate. Nate is probably one of the useless characters in this entire show that I've ever seen written. He doesn't do anything for everyone. He doesn't. He's not in any stories, not in any plots. He's just here to date everyone. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to discuss Vanessa because I don't care for Vanessa. I hate her. I don't understand why the fan base think that she's a good character or anything like that. The next character I want to discuss is Dan. Um, Dan was a good character in seasons 1 and 2. They ruined his character in season 3. They made up for a little bit in season 4. Season 5, he was just kind of like there, really. Season 6 is where it fucking went terrible, but making him Gossip Girl, well, I'm pretty sure everyone in the fan base can agree with that making him Gossip Girl made absolutely no sense. So yeah, I just say Dan was a good character in seasons 1 and 2. He made up for it in season 3. I mean, he made up for it in season 4, and then seasons 5 and 6, he just didn't really do much for me. Um, Other characters like Lily and Rufus, they ruined Rufus. I think him getting married to Lily really ruined his character a lot. I don't really care much for Lily. I do think she's a terrible mom, kind of blunt to Serena, which I really do love because it's funny. Other than that, she's just a really terrible mom, and I think they gave her way too much storylines for a parent, in my opinion. Some of the storylines that she got could have probably went to someone like Serena or Nate. I probably could have cared about them a lot more if they had more to their characters, but even that, the mom got way too much storylines. Same thing with Bart. I don't really care much for Chuck's dad. So, yeah. And I think the character they ruined the most in the show is Jenny. It really does suck that the fan base hates her a lot, and she never really got the redemption arc that she truly deserved. In season 1, I really loved her in season 1 because it does show you how being in a world where you have to be popular and be this person and be that person, how much it drives you to be terrible towards people you love and towards your friends and your family. So yeah, Jenny was a good character, probably one of the best developed characters in season 1. And then they picked it up in season 2 with her wanting to do more with her fashion, about her being really ambitious about it. They dropped her fashion stuff a little bit too quickly for me, in my opinion. I think it dropped way too quickly. They had the stuff for her and Nate. They decided to drop that. I feel like she was just used as a plot device to make other people's relationships feel stronger for some strange reason to me. Um, they decided to drop that, and then she had a nice quiet outing in season 2 with her being okay again and everything like that. And then season 3 is where they really fucked her up. They had her, she was the queen bee in season 3, which I think they didn't do much with that at all. And I have a Jenny defending video on why I think she's not as bad as people like to say she is, so watch it, because I'm just gonna say how I feel in this one, the same thing I said before. They ruined her character in season 3 by making her sell drugs, by making her being pursuing Nate in the most terrible way possible, and then making her sleep with Chuck. This was just terrible. Not only that, she was neglected by her father, neglected by her brother, she had no friends, just everything. They made her a really bad character. I don't understand why the writers wanted her to be a villain so much. It just never made sense to me why they wanted her to be the villain, why they wanted her to be the person that everybody hates. Because I don't hate her. I absolutely love Jenny. I empathize with her. I honestly think she's the victim. And when it comes to the things that she do, I honestly do think she's the victim. Um, I know a lot of people say that they hate the fact that Taylor Momsen tried to bring her real AG persona into the character, which I don't understand why that's even a problem. Because the whole point of growing up as a teenager is that you try to find yourself, and the AG thing was her in real life with Taylor Momsen, which it works because it just works with her being in a rock band and anything like that. The AG stuff does work with her character. But I do think Jenny is the character they mess up the most, that they botch the most, and it does suck. Um, Now that we're discussing characters, let's talk about the storylines. Um, I do think I know a lot of people say that season 2 is where it became generic and teen drama soap opera stuff, which I don't really have much problem with because this is technically a teen show and teen stuff like that does happen. I do think season 2 was the best season, and I don't think the writing really got bad in season 2. Season 1 and 2 are definitely the best seasons, or the best 2 overall seasons in the show. I think all the bad writing came in season 3, in my opinion. Season 3 was a good season, but it wasn't perfect. There were a lot of downs in it, and I do think the bad writing continued in season 3, came in season 3, but the bad writing came in season 5. I used to think season 4 was the worst season, but season 5 was the absolute worst. That season is terrible. The only thing good about that season is just Chuck and Blair. Everything else is just so non-existent. It's just complete filler, and it doesn't even make sense. So yeah, I do think after season 3, the storylines became terrible and just really bad overall, and the season just became so existent, like you don't even want to watch it. So what I think ruined Gossip Girl to end this video is the terrible character arcs, the terrible storylines, and it's in the way the show ended was just so unjustified. So I do think Gossip Girl is probably one of the best shows to ever be created, but the way this show ended and the way the show was filled out after season 3 was just bad. Dumb things were happening, dumb characters were introduced, just filler. And it does suck that this show ended the way that it did. So this has been the reason why Gossip Girl went wrong. I do have a video about the OC coming up, so please look out for that. Thank you.